No, Maury, what are you talking about? I've just watched the Wembley '74 footage, and it's endless, absolutely endless. There's about six good songs on it. Both Stills and Crosby are shushing the audience of 80,000. They think they're sitting in a living room, apparently. Stills obviously is out of his mind throughout most of this concert, and especially at the end, he's completely wound up. He's sitting at the piano, basically telling 80,000 people to shh. And Crosby also does it, and Crosby did it when I saw him solo during the Coke and Guns tour that he did. I saw him in Vancouver, had some guitar player with him named Carl, and he's shushing the audience. An audience with an open bar there, or a bar, a bar you can walk up to and get your drinks, and also table service, and people are drinking, and there's three people in the audience that are there to listen to his best songs, and the rest are just there for a night out, and he's shushing them. Are these guys out of their minds? What are they thinking? That 80,000 people are there to listen to their most intimate, quiet songs in an outdoor setting. They've had nothing to eat. They possibly have been drinking and smoking. They're packed in tight with a lot of 72, 80,000 other stinking people that have been standing there now for hours and hours and hours, watching Joni Mitchell, watching Jesse Colin Young, watching the band. Are you kidding me? I couldn't even finish it. I could not finish it, and I used to love this band, Maury. You know I did. No one more than I did. Oh, okay, you did. Yeah, okay, Shirley did too, but I did then. I was third most loving of them. But it was just ridiculous. 1974, and already it's just ridiculous. They're a shadow of themselves. And now I want to talk about, the two most essential albums, and you're telling me about, So Far, and there's another compilation album, and I've got Daylight Again, and I've got American Dream, and they're not worth listening to. Oh, the Crosby, Stills, and Nash have turned into flying saucers. Oh, and they're visiting us again and giving us daylight again with their presence. What are you talking about? There's at least 4 bass players on that album, and Stills doesn't play bass at all. And he would play at least as well as any of them. 4 other bass players. Oh, and guess what? Timothy B. Schmidt is there on vocals, and he plays bass as well, because apparently the other bass players weren't good enough. And apparently, one of America's greatest vocal groups, perhaps second only to the Beach Boys, geez, they're singing so well that they have to bring in Timothy B. Schmidt from the Poco, from the Eagle, to sing high harmonies. Are you joking me, Maury? If I was a skeet shooter, this album would be gone, long gone. Likewise, American Dream. It just, pretentious, I'm going to say. All the co-writing on both of these albums with bass players, with other people, with keyboard players. These are not self-contained Crosby, Stills, and Nash or CSNY albums. They're working with outside writers. They're working with many outside musicians. American Dream, yeah, I think that was a dream of easier taxes for Mr. Neil Young. Yeah, that was the American Dream, chasing the Yankee dollar and having a better tax, write-up every year. I saw them on the Costas show, Maury. I could hardly stomach it. From, when was that, 89, 90, something like that? And they're interviewed separately. I think it started with Crosby and then Nash and then Stills, I'm not sure, but they each had 2 nights, and we learned basically nothing new, a couple of little tidbits, and the 3 of them acted as if they're the co-CEOs of a multi hundreds of millions of dollars worth of corporate interests. And they're not going to say anything or do anything that jeopardizes that. We heard the same pat answers about Neil Young, the same pat answers from Crosby. Stills looks like he would challenge Costas to a fist fight if he asked the wrong question. And Nash can barely, well, he doesn't look at the camera. He's giving nothing away. It's like we should be so happy to be there in his presence. I'm absolutely disgusted with these guys. Disgusted. Oh, and American Dream is dedicated to, you know, all the women in their life. Well, one of these guys has passed now, of course. Cross is gone. And at least two of the others are no longer with the women to whom they make the dedication. So that meant a lot, guys. Neil, Graham, that meant a lot, didn't it? That dedication. It meant nothing. This is another album for your skeet shooting afternoons, ladies and gentlemen. Launch it off the back of your boat and blow it out of the skies. There is no music on these albums worth listening to, Maury. You know it as well as I do, and Shirley knows it too. Okay? Really, I'm serious. I love you guys. You know I do. She's my sister, for heaven's sakes, Maury. Give me a break. I'll show you the albums I think are the two essential Crosby, Stills, and Nash, and Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young albums. Yeah, they're not American Dream and Daylight Again. They're Deja Vu and Crosby, Stills, and Nash. These are the essential albums, the only two albums you need by the group. There are some solo albums that are absolutely fantastic and that you'll want to add. We'll talk about those in the future, Maury. I know you have some of them. These are the two albums, the classic breakout album, the Crosby, Stills, and Nash album with the breakout hit Marrakesh Express. One of their greatest tunes, the excellent organ part on it by, I believe Stills plays that. A fantastic album with a capital fan, Maury. You know I'm a fan of this album. I do not regret this album. They all play all over it. Stills plays all over this album. This is one of the great albums of rock. Deja Vu, likewise. They added Neil Young. They added a permanent rhythm section with Dallas Taylor and Greg Reeves. And one of the worst album covers ever. For my taste, it's one of your, $25, oh, dress up in the clothes of the 1800s and we'll take a picture in sepia tint. It's a pathetic picture. And they could have done far better. But the music inside is excellent, Maury. Every single tune. And let's not forget the Neil Young, I'm going to call it a masterpiece. Country Girl is on this album. A tune that's fallen by the wayside somehow. One of Neil's best tunes, an orchestral tune, a tune that would not have been out of place on his first album, of course. Deja Vu, Carry On. Both of these albums, a fantastic bookend to any rock collection. Crosby, Stills, and Nash. Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, Dallas Taylor and Greg Reeves, Deja Vu. Maury, I love you. Give my love to Shirley. You know I love you both. We'll see you soon. Okay. Bye for now, you guys.